Welcome to this week's edition of NEC Football Digest. I'm Ralph Ventry, and I'm here to help you bridge the gap between weeks 3 and 4 and give you everything you need to know about Saturday, September 22nd on the NEC gridiron. Robert Morris has a bye this week, the only team that's idle, meaning that 8 Northeast Conference teams will take to the field on Saturday, September 22nd. 2 of those teams will play non-conference games, and we'll take a look at them first. Defending NEC champion Albany will face a top 25 opponent for the second consecutive week. Last week, the Great Danes faced number 5 Youngstown State, taking the Penguins down to the wire. This week, Albany will be at number 23 Maine. The Great Danes have actually won 2 of the last 3 meetings against the CAA opponent. St. Francis, PA will also face a CAA member in Week 4. The Red Flash will head down to number 13 Towson for their second game against a member of the Colonial Athletic Association this year. The Flash, who have rushed for 796 yards in their last 2 games, open the season at number 6 James Madison. And now, moving on to Northeast Conference play. We'll start in Smithfield, Rhode Island, where Bryant is getting set to host Duquesne. The matchup is a unique one in the sense that it features the 2 preseason All-NEC running backs. Bryant's Jordan Brown, a preseason All-American, is still looking for his first breakout game of 2012, while Duquesne's Larry McCoy currently leads the Northeast Conference with 344 yards on the ground in the season's first 3 games.
They're both very talented young men. They're both difficult to contain, and that's the key. The difference is I'll leave that for the talent scouts and those people in the stands and guys like you that sit up there and evaluate. We just try to find a way to get Larry the football and give him an opportunity to gain positive yards, and he does such a great job at that. And then we have to keep Jordan contained. He's so good, he's going to get his yards, but we can't let him have the big plays.
Bryant, interesting note here, is 10-3 all-time against Northeast Conference teams from the state of Pennsylvania. But 2 of the 3 losses are to the Duquesne Dukes. And our next game takes us down to the Jersey Shore, where Sacred Heart will visit Red Hot Monmouth. Monmouth has won 2 in a row, a convincing 41-6 victory over CAA member Rhode Island, and last week's win over Outer Bridge rival Wagner. The Hawks have one of the stingiest defenses in the NCAA and the stingiest in the NEC, allowing only 16.7 points per game. They'll go up against the conference's leading passer, though, in Sacred Heart Jr. Tim Little. Little is averaging 205.5 yards through his first 2 starts of 2012. An interesting nugget about this one, the road team has won the last 3. And now on to the granddaddy of them all. No, not the Rose Bowl, but the NEC TV featured game of the week. The NEC's 5-week television schedule kicks off this Saturday, September 22nd at Central, Connecticut. The Blue Devils will host the Wagner Seahawks in a game that will air live on MSG Plus and Fox College Sports beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This will be Central Connecticut's first game against a team not ranked in the FCS Top 25. The Blue Devils have suffered defeats at the hands of Lehigh, the 2-time defending Patriot League champion, nationally ranked New Hampshire, and last year's Big South winner Stony Brook. Wagner, on the other hand, hasn't exactly had a cakewalk of a schedule by any means. The Seahawks opened the season at FBS member Florida Atlantic and took a 3-0 lead into the 4th quarter against the Owls. Then it was a road game at Georgetown, and of course, last week's matchup against rival Monmouth. The Seahawks and Blue Devils will both be looking for their first win of 2012 in what will be the first night game at the newly renovated Arute Field. Also, a quick word of caution to Central Connecticut special teams. Watch out for Wagner's Otis Wright. Wright leads the NEC in kickoff return average and took one back 89 yards to the house last week against Monmouth. Speaking of that game against rival Monmouth last week, although it ended in defeat for him, it was still a special and memorable day for Wagner head coach Walt Hameline. Hameline looked on during a pregame ceremony as the field at Wagner College Stadium was renamed in the head coach's honor.
It was a great day. It's such an honor to have something like this happen, but I've always said you're only as good as the people are around you, and I've been so fortunate to be here for so long and build relationships and good players and the president and all the board of trustees. All the people have been so supportive over these years that, it ended up being a great thing. I was a young guy. I got hired by P.J. Carlissimo a long time ago. I was in the right place at the right time, and it's been a great run, and I've met so many good people and so many good things have happened. It's really an honor.
So there you have it, folks. 5 games, 8 teams, and a lot of hard-hitting action coming up in Week 4 on the NEC Gridiron. Be sure to join us again next week, heading into Week 5, right here on NEC Football Digest.